Hello everybody, fellow potters, wannabe potters, and fellow kiln opening addicts. It's time for a new kiln opening. But before I do that, I am going to give you a sneak peek into my new studio. Michelle Dickey reached out, who always makes most lovely comments. Hello Michelle, if you're watching. And asked when I was going to show you guys the new studio. And I said, oh well, whenever I get it cleaned up. Then I realized it's not going to be cleaned till after Christmas. So it is what it is. So you get to see the down and dirty as well as the new studio today. Okay, so here we go. Ta-da! I should have done it before and after because it's really hard for you guys to understand the difference in my workspace now. But here we are. I'm going to just pan around to show you some of my favorite things. So when we come in the door, just some organizational stuff, an old dresser that I use for cookie cutters, that kind of thing. And one of the major things that changed in this studio was I had one plug before, one. Actually, I don't even think I had one. I think we were running it from a plug in the other part of the basement. So now I have proper plugs everywhere that I still have to organize. There's still a bit of a octopus thing happening here, so I'm gonna get my hubby on that because he's really good at that stuff. So as I said, there's some of the octopus stuff that's happening that he has to come in and get organized for me. I am totally ADHD, so not good at that stuff. Then we've got a dehumidifier, which I use sometimes in the summertime. There's some of my wear boards that I use. My wedging table with my scale. I also will sometimes mix glazes there using the scale. Did some this week that I've been putting off for a long time. The windows pop a lot more. The walls are now gyprocked and white, not ugly old tarps. This little square heater is a life changer. So my hubby insulated all those basement walls. You might be able to hear the dogs barking. Insulated all those basement walls, and we got a new heater put in. And already we've had a few cool days, and I'm telling you, so nice. Lots of shelving. As you can see, once I'm done unloading this kiln, I will be loading it right back up again. We're now in the run to Christmas, which means time has gotten very, very crazy. My big Christmas sale that I organize every year is November 9th, and then most what I will sell after that will be online. And then there's my wheel, which is dirty. My floors, which are dirty, although I've scrubbed them twice this week. It's unending. And there's some more shelving. I don't know about you guys, there's some finished pottery up there. I don't know about you guys, but I could have 10 miles of shelving and I would still fill it up. Another work table. This one has my slab roller on it. And clay is basically getting shoved under. It's under here too, wherever I can fit it. But I'm gonna have to move it from here because it's too close to the heater. And I hate hard clay. So it'll probably try to all go over here. I was separating it because it was two different batches. One was older than the other. This is a decadent treat for me. I only use this when I'm doing mega glazing, but oh my heavens, I don't know about the rest of you, but I can be on a 2-day glazing run and it can get a little boring. So I'll put on like some good British TV or something. Right now I'm watching some Hercule Poirot. I don't know if I'm saying that right. The Bay. I love The Bay. What else have I been watching? Oh, the old All Creatures Great and Small. Love that one. So anyway, I'm just having great fun. And then what I use when I'm glazing, this is a wonderful purchase for me. Is one of these saddle seats that is hydraulic, comes up and down. I use the heck out of this. I tried throwing in it. It's no good for throwing, but it is awesome for glazing. So I perch there, or I stand up when I need to. Another window. So there is the glaze wall. And when I moved all those glazes over, I thought, oh Jesus, you have a problem, and I do, as many of you do. So a lot of glazes. On top of all these dipping glazes, and this place is very messy right now, But buckets and buckets of dipping glazes. I made a couple of new buckets this week. I replenished my black because I was using too much obsidian, and I have a beautiful black glaze recipe. So I redid my bucket of black, and I did a bucket of clear because I use that to line. And there's the chemicals. Nothing too exciting there. This was one of the few new purchases I made for the studio. And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna stand back. It rolls really smooth. It was my best purchase because I move it, depending on what I'm doing, it moves all over the studio. Like for example, when I have to take all those bisque pieces over here, I'm trying not to go too fast so I don't get you seasick. I'll pile it on this because my kiln is a good distance from my studio, and I can wheel this about 3/4 of the way to the kiln, and then that'll make that a lot faster. So that's good. As I said, shelving, hey, look. And if I had more, I would just fill it up. And some packing paper. And then I have a chalkboard here. I just got some new chalk. We just put this up. So this will be for a production list, or if I want to make note of any special glazes or whatever. So that's the studio. Okay, now the fun stuff, the kiln unload. Before I started, I do want to thank Backwards Potter for the super thanks. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. You've contributed to my glaze addiction, which you just saw. And I also wanted to say a big hi to Debbie and David from England. They were in little old Prince Edward Island on the east coast of Canada, and she reached out, which was lovely. And we got together for coffee and had a nice chat. So I don't know about the rest of you, but my husband, my family, my friends, when I start to go on about pottery too much, they kind of get this glazed look in their eyes. So it's really fun when you have a fellow potter you can chat with pottery about. So let's dive in. It's not a huge load. I mean, the kiln was full, but there were some big pieces. So I'm going to start with a piece I refired. And I wasn't happy with it at first. And I got some advice from you guys, and I used some of that. It's still a little splotchier than I wanted, but it's much better. I can definitely live with this now. So this is a big snowman platter, and it says believe on it, and needs to get cleaned up on the back a bit, but I'll try to remember what I used. This would have been Rainforest Celadon. The rest of this, initially this was all underglazes. So what I knew better, but I still did it, was I painted everything, then I went in after and did the fine lines where I carved them. But it is so much easier, little tip here. And I know a lot of times in pottery you have to do things backwards, but just had a brain fart. So what you do, for those of you who are looking at doing something like this, is just paint all your main pieces without the black lines. So your snowman, your sky, your star, everything like that, just paint it in. Then put a thin coat of wax over it at the greenware stage, or at the, not the greenware, the leather hard stage. You want to be able to carve it. Then once that wax dries, then you carve out your lines. So you don't carve until you get everything painted. Wax it, carve out your lines, then fill it in with your black and wipe it back. And the wax will stop the black from going everywhere, and you'll get a much cleaner, it's hard, there's so much glare on this because it's so shiny, but anyway, it's just not as clean as I would have liked it. It's fine, but next time I will be doing it that way. So as I said, all under glazes. And then what I did with the blue, taking some of your advice and kind of mixing it all up together, is I just took a sea sponge and I splodged on deep sea Celadon over it, because it was mixing clear on the top anyway, so I knew it would play nice. And then I splodged on blue hydrangea, because I knew that would just add to the feeling of the night sky. That turned out pretty cute, I think. I'm happy with that now. I think someone will really like that. And it says believe on it. I've also done a few of these. So these are maybe not chip and dip, but salsa and dip, or cheese and crackers or whatever you want to do, trays. And like all of you, I sometimes run into problems with cracking when I throw it as one piece. So what I did was I threw the bottom piece first, then I threw the bowl, fired them separate, and then I glazed them together and let them fuse together, and they fused very nicely. So a little tip though, I have done this before, and you know, it must be crazy what can go on inside a kiln when it gets really hot, because I've actually had the bowl shift, and it's not because it's slanted, it's just kind of dancing around in there, I think, when it gets too hot. So, and the glazes get fluid. So what I did this time was before, once I threw this, I just used a trimming tool and I made a little circle indent in the middle of the plate. I don't know if that makes any sense. So that the bowl would have somewhere to rest without moving around too much. So this is Norse Blue base. I dipped and poured this because I have a bucket of Norse Blue. And then I painted on one coat of blue hydrangea, and then flux on the rim of the bowl and flux on the rim of the plate. So that's nice. One of the things I do, and I did it here, was I'll take just a really rough sea sponge. I probably can't find it now. It's just a little tiny, I don't know what I do with it. Anyway, so something that has a lot of holes, not a dense sponge. And I'll just sponge versus painting so that I don't get a firm line. I want that sort of, because it's hard when something is flat, right, to get any movement, but the sponge softens that line for you. So there you go. That's that one. I did 2 in this load. I think I have a couple more coming. And this is the other one. So this one is river birch here, and then this and river birch here, and it melded quite nicely too. I make sure I have lots of glaze at the base. It's one scenario where you want running. And then, yeah, it's nicely stuck. It's not going anywhere. And then I did 2 coats of soft red, and soft red. I think next time I would do 3 coats. Soft red can get a little browny when it's thinner, but it's still really pretty. So that's nice. Okay, so I'll do the big stuff first. So this is just a little tray with a matching dip bowl. And this was, put this down, the bottom and up just a tiny bit on the sides would have been curry. Everything just is overlapping slightly. And then almost up to the edge of the rim, I have frosted turquoise. I think it's called frosted turquoise, floating turquoise maybe, from Spectrum. And then on the rim and on the back, 2 coats of Louisiana Bayou. And even though it did take over quite a bit, you can still see the turquoise shining through. So that's pretty. And then the little matching bowl, I just did the curry on the inside, almost to the rim, frosted floating turquoise. God, I'm not even sure which one it is. Whatever it is, almost to the rim, and then Louisiana Bayou on the rim. Pretty set, like it. Okay, what next? It's just a little free-form tray. I've gotten some new little rollers, so I was just playing with them with some slabs. And a little matching bowl with a flower. So just like that. So this was deep sea, Amico deep sea in the texture, then white back. And then Amico, I think it's called Lagoon. Their Celadon, which is a really, really pretty blue. I like it better than Sky, actually. It's a bit warmer. And same here, just deep sea in the flower, white back, and then Lagoon. Celadons are so much friendlier when you've got some texture for them to land in versus flat, right? But I mean, I think I put 4 coats on this, but I knew it would be softer, but I think it's fine with the tray. So that turned out very nice. This one was a refire. And the first time it turned out beautifully. Frick. Pinhole. Well, there was no pinholes in the first fire. The problem in the first fire was I had running and it really bubbled a lot. And you get that kind of black bubbling sometimes with your advancer shells. And I knew I'd be grinding it forever and I still would have black bubbling. So I'll probably just, it's a tiny bit sharp. So I'll just take the head of my Dremel and I'll just touch that. I would barely touch it just to make it smooth. And I'll just reduce it a little bit, but really it doesn't affect functionality. And then the bottom, I did get one little bubble, but it looks so much better on the bottom. And I knew it would run. I put it up on a little stilt. And then I can grind this really easy, and I do not feel like I have to reduce it, I guess, is what I mean there. Inside is just clear. This was, oh darn, what was that? Was it cactus? No, this was floating turquoise. Then this was papaya, and then this was frosty peach, all spectrum. I mean, the colors changed. I'll show you. Here's one that I haven't refired yet. So they're pretty close. This is just, I put a little thin coat at the bottom after I ground it back a bit of the frosty peach. So those have to get refired. I had 4 that bubbled like crazy, so I just thought I'm gonna do one first and make sure that works. And that works, I feel like that's a big improvement. So the other 3 will also get fired like that. This is an olive oil pourer, and this one is 2 coats of honey flux, 1 coat of river birch all over. Then splodges, just random, of seaweed, blue bayou, 2 coats of each of those. I also did some sangria, but it burnt out. I don't mind though. I think it still looks really pretty with the blue and green. I think the sangria, I only did 1 coat because I thought it's a really strong color, but really I probably should have done 2. And then I did just a thin coat, just where the colors were of river birch, because I really wanted it to get that soft look, and that's pretty. I think that'll be nice. So I have to check and make sure the spout fits, but looks good. This one is Amico Matte Black on the bottom. Then at the top, 2 coats of honey flux. Then 1 good thick coat of poppy fields. And then a coat, not all the way over, like just halfway of Spectrum Sunrise. So that's pretty. It's a good thing I'm doing this now because I will not remember this in a day. This is matte black on the bottom. Then it is 2 coats of honey flux. Then it's 1 coat of Louisiana Bayou. And then it's 1 coat of Blue Capri, I think it's called. It's one of the Jungle Gems. So that's pretty too. Then this one, my old favorite, Olive Float, matte black on the bottom, 2 coats of honey flux. Then I did, oh, I'm sorry, this one was not Louisiana Bayou and over the honey flux. This one was the floating turquoise from Spectrum. This one was 2 coats of honey flux, 1 coat of Louisiana Bayou, 1 coat of Olive Float, which is a really thick, goopy glaze anyway, and then splodges of flux. Look at that drip there. Like that. That's pretty. I'll be doing that again. Very nice with the matte black. Okay. Haven't done this one in a little while. So this one, I dipped it in alabaster, and then I did 2 thin coats of raspberry mist to about here. Then I dipped it overlapping a little bit in Norse blue. Then I put flux, probably to about here on the rim. That's very pretty. I did two in that. It's a nice combo, I think. Only 2 of these in this float. Miraculous, because I have to do a ton. Oh my gosh. The messages I'm getting daily is significant. So this would be winterwood on the bottom. So a dip in alabaster, and then 1 coat painted on or brushed on of winterwood, and then 2 thick coats of Louisiana Bayou, and then just wipe back over the medallion and just clear inside. And same one. So that's that. These 3 I'm going to show you. I actually still have another. These are for overglazed decals, and I planned it that way. So I got from Expressions decals, decals. It varies from country and region how they're pronounced. But anyway, I got some crows from Expressions, and did a few mugs that I'm going to put a crow on the mug. So this one says Nevermore. So the crow's going to go here. So I pre-measured it, made the square bigger, of course, than the crow because I knew it was going to shrink. The inside, I just did Pottery Supply House Purple Haze. Then I dipped it in the Pottery Supply House Purple Haze. So if you have letters, it's almost like a Celadon. I just watched a video from Amanda at Red F Designs, and she made the same point. Even though they don't call them Celadons, and they're a little more pigmented maybe than Celadons, they do act like Celadons. So they're perfect for texture or for lettering, because I didn't do anything to this. I just dipped it. And then I dipped it in my new black that I just mixed up. And I can't tell if my new black, I either didn't mix it well enough or it's reacting with what I put on top of it. I mean, it's lovely. It's a smoky gray color, but usually it's a very deep black. It's a nice black recipe. So it could be driver error, or it could just be, anyway, I still like it. I think it's great. So anyway, what I did was I dipped it in the black, slightly overlapping the purple. Then I did 3 stripes, random stripes of 2 coats of reactive red. And you're gonna get this purple when it meets black. And I wasn't sure how it would react, because I know with obsidian, it works really well. So it works just as well on my black. It's just that I'm not quite sure if I mixed my black enough, or if it just got more smoky because it was reacting with other glazes, which is possible. But either way, I still like it. I think it's very pretty. So that one, this one was the exact same glaze treatment, but it says, support your local murder. I love that. And then last one for the crows is, this one says Coffee, C-A-W-F-E-E. And this one is dip in my Temuco Gold, still have some of that left. Then a dip in my Laguna Power Turquoise. Then a small band of seaweed, which makes Power Turquoise turn blue. And then a little band of flux, just where the blue, or where the Power Turquoise and the Temuco Gold met. So that one's gonna be good too, like that one. So there's that. And the last thing I have to show you is, we started charity. My mom passed away about 26 years ago now, and we started a charity in her name. She used to do all sorts of little, she worked with disadvantaged families, and she used to do all sorts of little things for kids on the side, like not as part of her work, but you know, she'd do like a hot dog sale because someone needed basketball shoes, or she'd do a raffle because someone needed a prom dress or whatever. Anyway, when she passed away, we started a charity which has been running now in Prince Edward Island for 25 years, which I'm pretty proud of. So this is our 25th. We do an annual walk, which is our big fundraiser. So anyway, I did some door prizes. So on the top, it might be hard to tell because the lettering is very tiny, but it says the Esther Finkel Walk for Kids, and then it says 25 years. And then inside is, that one is Turquoise Lake, Coyote Turquoise Lake poured in, then dipped in Turquoise Lake, then dipped overlapping in Norse Blue, then a band of olive float where they meet, just random, with random dabs of flux. So I did several of those. I won't show them all to you, but so I think I did 8 in total. The other color combo I did was this one. So this one is, and it's interesting, you know, this is my blue, and I've used this before, so I know my studio blue is more like a cobalt. Obviously, I was lazy on the mixing because it's more like a denim blue, which is still really, really pretty. But I know I'm supposed to mix my blue a lot because of the colorants in it, it tends to drop. So next time I'll use my little super mixer. I've got like one of those great big electric mixers, and I'll do that beforehand. But anyway, it still turned out gorgeous. So this is my studio blue dipped, and this is my not mine, this is Spectrum Autumn Purple, 2 coats, slightly overlapping. And for all the medallions, I just had done I watered down some deep sea Celadon because those letters were so tiny. I knew I had to get in there. I couldn't get bubbles. So I watered it down, put that in there, and then put a coat of Celadon Mixing Clear over it. Then I waxed it. Then I did the glaze work. So that's that. All right, I think that's it. So thank you for tuning in. My first kiln opening since I came back from my trip. Had a fabulous time. And if anyone ever needs any, I've been to Greece many times. So if anyone ever needs any hints about some beautiful spots to go to, just let me know. I'm happy to share. And yeah, so take care. I'll see you next time.